YouTube viewers. Good morning, Facebook viewers. Good morning to people all around the world. Every man, woman, and child, every race, every culture, every language. Good morning to you all. We are all in this together. Before I start, click like, subscribe. Let's get that good morning out to everybody. And that good morning will always be here to everyone, every person on the face of this earth. Today is a beautiful day. We're going to start out with, I want to say something to all who are out here who are listening. To all people in the United States, in this great country of ours, I want to say that the Republican Party, and this is non-political, but I have to speak on it because at some point change has to begin. I've seen on social media where, people are bashing people, this, you voted for this or you did that. That's childish. It's childish because we're all being lied to. All of us. It doesn't matter if you're one or you're the other. It does not matter. We're all being lied to. But it's the fact that, if we're sitting there saying, hey, yeah, change is coming, but we're pointing fingers, nah. That makes us just as devious as the people that we're pointing fingers at, forgetting that these people are human beings. So for all the Republicans out there who are going through the process of coming to terms with everything that has happened, I embrace you. Because, I agree, there's a lot of lying going on. But I'm not going to point a finger on anyone to say, hey, look, I told you so, or anything like that. That's childish. And what I also want to say on the flip side, there was a post that came on, and it was saying, hey, gas $2.50, and then those people would say, oh, yeah, that's right, this is what, it's just going to get worse. If you believe that it's going to get worse, it will get worse. So it took me almost, I'd say, a good 8 hours, 9 hours before I responded to it, because I felt that if I said something, I would offend someone. But what I had to do is, as an American, I had to put down a fact. And the fact is that gasoline prices in 2018 were $2.88. That's 33 cents more than what the person and what people went into an uproar for. So this is what I encourage everyone. Fact check everything. Stop being quick to jump and to believe everything. So with that, today's topic, I want to get right into it because I want to save time. I want to make the video shorter. And today's topic is entitled, The Reality of Woke. A lot of people walking out there saying they're woke. Or the false reality in which we all exist. So the topic is the reality of woke, or the false reality in which we all exist. Not just here in America. We got to stop that, because this is a program that's running all over the world. As we look at the reality of this great country today, many are angry, depressed, spiteful, saddened, self-sabotaging, as well as jealousy. Did you notice that I didn't say race, I didn't mention racist or hate? And the reason this is because racism and hate are only masks. They're only masks that hide these emotional and mental issues which goes on in an individual. So it's easy to go out and hate. If I'm upset because they cut my hours, but hey, he's mad at this person because of his color, let me go hate. And this is how this works. So let's start identifying things for what they truly are, and it's up to us as adults who have the know-how to point this out. Whether we lose friends, whether we lose families, if we want to make this world a better place, then it's up to us. It starts with us. It's because of what we condone. America has exposed itself on a grand scale, on a major stage. The world has taken note. Yet no corner of this earth is any different. America just hit it longer. They just hit it longer. No different. We are living in a time where once your wood, excuse me, go back. We are living in a time where once your word stood as a contractual bond. Today, a written signed contract can be broken. It means nothing. And that's a signed legal document. We live in a world today where a ring signified faithfulness and commitment. Today, it stands for a piece of metal, diminishing in value and morals. So a wedding ring means nothing today. Commitment to a wedding, a ring that you wear around your finger, where it means nothing today. It's up to the individuals to keep that bond. And we find out that divorce is real. A time where doctors were trusted and respected. Today, the whole medical field is looked upon as liars and thieves. Think about that one. Doctors, you would buy, I remember when I was growing up, family, we would buy gifts for our doctor or our dentist. It's a thing of the past. Friends were loyal and accountable. Today, we have associates and followers. So the friends that we had growing up, we had all the way through, but it's time and the manipulation and the money was thrown into the picture. It's divided. Most people don't have the same friends as they had when they were growing up. So even friendships are short. Community meant family while standing for the good of the people. Community. No matter what the differences was in the community, communities would always have one time a year where they would have all the community come to a central point to meet up and just to lay things aside and have a good time, have a good day. Something unheard of. And if they are happening, they're only targeted for certain people. Again, so it's a divisive measure, not encouraging all to come. Only a certain class or a certain group from the city. Something we have to stop. Today, even a neighbor can become hateful, spiteful, and deceitful. So, communities themselves our neighborhoods themselves are broken. They're broken. You can walk out your door and see the most hateful person in the world. And when we live in a world like that, change can't begin. Not to say associate, because if a person is hating on you, then you need to stay away from them. There's gonna be no way to correct that bond. It's just who that person is or who those people are. So don't let that affect you, because there's people down the road, houses down the road, who want peace and happiness and want to be a good neighbor. So don't let things like this affect who you are. Not hiding, but all in plain sight. So whereas a neighbor would talk behind your back or they would do something behind your back, now they do it in plain sight because it's just that much hate. But you have to realize the hate that you receive is always going to be, or the different little games that you receive is a reflection of what those people feel inside. So never take anything personal. You always have to say to yourself, something up with them. So, again, don't let anything change you, especially if you can impact others, because this is what they're going to try to stop. All right? So, a time when our children were protected, encouraged with values and morals. Today, we see school shootings, bullying, validation, chasing, Not just kids, adults are doing it too, which is kind of childish. While very few children walk around with a knife. So, like in today, like you can go anywhere and ask any child, or not any child, any kid, do they carry a knife? Or do they have access to a knife? And they'll tell you, yeah. And you'll be surprised at the ones who will tell you this. You think it's just some street kids and all this. No, it's those straight A students as well. So, we got to get off of that narrative of it's a certain look or a certain demographic where they would do that. No, straight A kids carry knives too, and guns. Don't forget, demographic kids aren't doing all those school things. So we have to get away from those, and this is what this video is about. So that's enough of that. Let's go to the words of what a wise man once said a long time ago. And this man's name is Walter M. Miller Jr. And he was quoted to say, a wise man, or go back, he was once quoted to say, if we were born mad, where is the hope of heaven? That's deep, because that was written a long time ago. So if we're born mad, how can we see anything that's good? If we were born jealous, or not having something, but we envy what other people have, how can we have anything good? We're driven on emotions that directly affect anything that we do in life or anywhere we go in life. It's not a positive emotion. It's not a positive view to have. So again, change begins with us. We can all speak of what we feel to be our truths. We can all sympathize with those who are affected by it. However, truth is fact. And again, to go back to what I said about the gas price, that it wasn't based on a fact, but yet and still it got everybody riled up. So it didn't have to be a proven fact. So to say, hey, it's not $2.50, hey, 2 years ago it was $2.88, sometimes you lose friends over that. Just the fact that you're telling the truth. So be prepared to stand. But I like to think that that's not the case. That people will accept, correction or truth and say, okay, you're right, and set the record straight. Accepting truth is where change begins. So I want to leave you all with this today, because we can talk about the things that are going on today, which a lot of it is not based on fact, but let's get a fact out there that is a fact. And it's so simple, but it just goes to say that, lies are being spread even from the very, very start. So I'm going to leave you with this. There is not one ancient structure on the face of this earth. We're talking about the pyramids, we're talking about the Mayans, we're talking about the Mayans. You can go anywhere on the earth. Any structure that you have in your history books today in school were built by the civilizations that are being accredited for. The Egyptians did not build the pyramids. This is a fact. This is a fact that is beyond fact. These structures were already here. And scientists, as well as geologists, are trying to, they're not trying to prove it, they're being shut up from proving it. There are more ancient civilizations underneath the oceans than what we see on top of the earth today. More. And older. So civilization today have given credit to something that was not built by the people that we read about in our books. Yet no changes have been made to correct this lie. No, not one change to any history book, not one. And then we can go on from there to say present day that this country still teaches slavery at a young age to our children. If that isn't the biggest form of oppression, I don't know what is. But it's teaching racism in elementary school. Yet nothing is being done. No one's standing up for it. But we want to argue about an election being stolen, this and that. No. If we can't correct If we can't correct this now, those proven lies and the lies of today. So if change is what the world states that it wants and strives for, then why can't the world start by being honest about this fact? That these civilizations, that these history books have been a lie. And the reason is because as long as the lie continues, then we can continue to manipulate. But it takes us to put an end to it. It takes us to march on a board of education. Like I said, I don't see people marching on a board of education saying, hey, pull slavery out of elementary school. Not saying it shouldn't be taught, but maybe you should teach it at high school when kids are really able to understand what's really going on. And kids can really understand the African empires that literally ruled and literally were once some of the wealthiest civilizations in the world before slavery. Why not let the kids know where they truly came from? So it's these lies that we are continuing to be pushed out there. So if you want to look at today, I'm talking to us as adults. If we want to look out there today, then let's really do our part to make these changes and question these establishments about how, even the simplest lies, they continue to go on. Maybe it's because they don't want to recycle the paper from those old books. But the irony is they are recycling the old paper from all those old books that have all that outdated information and printing the same thing into new ones, more prettier ones, more nice covers, and they last a little bit longer. So change begins with us, not by those in which we follow. Let's do our part by standing up for truth. And so with that, everyone, I want to say have an awesome day. I'm always going to bring you truth. That's why my subscribers and all that is low, because I think that when you really speak truth and we really hold one another accountable, I think a lot of people don't want that, even though they say they want that. But I'm not going to stop. And again, lastly, I want to say to all the people who out there are Republicans, I don't feel any kind of way of what you go through, and I sympathize. At the end of the day, we're all being lied to. So I'm not going to bash anyone, and I encourage everybody else out there, all other Americans, let's be Americans. Let's be who we should truly be. If we're all in this together, then let's be in this together. And that doesn't start by pointing fingers and laughing at people. It starts by understanding and saying, hey, what can we do to make this work? Because that's what we're going to need. We're going to need Republicans, we're going to need Democrats, we're going to need independent, we're going to need all different people, all Americans to come together for the common good of the people. And that's where we stand today. We the people. And for we the people, I wish you the most awesome day. I wish you the best day. And with that, to all men, women, children, not just here in America, but around the world, peace and blessings.